Hello, my name is Anna Obrecht, and my presentation is on recruitment and selection. I found this very informative YouTube video by Laszlo Bach, and he is the Senior Vice President of People Operations at Google. This is for my Management 295 Human Resource Management course with Dr. McClure. So my presentation will be about the best kept secrets according to Laszlo for their filtering, their selecting, their recruiting process at Google. And he stated that there's over 3 million applicants each year that try to apply for a job at Google. Over 700 of them will be new hires each year. This brings it about to 1 in 428 of a chance for them to be able to receive a job at Google, to work for Google. And he stated that with those type of possibilities, it's probably easier to get into an Ivy League school like Yale than to be able to work for Google. But still, they have a lot of people suggesting to their friends, to their co-workers, to apply for positions at Google, even if they've been turned down in an interview. So there must be a reason why. Their biggest goal is to be able to find these specific people, these key applicants, these key candidates, and their job is to be able to filter them properly, adequately, and in the best way possible. This entitles them to over 55,000 employees to date, and that is nationally and internationally. So some reasons for their big success in their hiring processes. One of the biggest reasons, he states, is setting incredibly high standards for quality. He goes over and over again about how companies should never compromise. They should never settle for less. Knowing exactly what a recruiter wants and needs is very important. Knowing what the position requires and what the position needs is very, very important. And this brings us to making unbiased decisions. So this will state, not hiring siblings or not hiring just because they're friends or because they're the daughter of somebody very important. We want to eliminate any type of bias in the decision-making processes for the recruiting process. They also state that one of their biggest reasons for their success is that there is no managers involved in the hiring, or at least in the interviewing process. This is also to be able to eliminate any type of bias. So what they do at Google is they try to form a committee of employees to determine these new hires. And then what happens is that this information is sent to the management team, and they are able to assess candidates and the feedback that was provided for each candidate as well. So what they'll be questioning is, when this feedback is provided, is the feedback good? Is the feedback reliable? And this is because not always are we correct, right? There's times where we are making bad decisions even if our intentions are great. Our brains just tend to take us to that direction, and they're doing tons of research right now through Google to be able to see why do we have these bias reasonings in the way that we filter people in our lives. He also states that we hire the wrong people, but the intention is to not fail to hire the best. Again, subconsciously we make inferences that can be biased, prejudiced, and judgmental. And so he talks about the first 10 seconds of meeting somebody, and he calls this the power of first impressions. So the power that the first 10 seconds of shaking somebody's hand, walking in the room, taking a seat, saluting people, greeting everybody, presenting yourself, those 10 seconds are very, very crucial. And it's just that mentally we sort out ambition, competence, confidence, employability, expressiveness, intelligence, likability, nervousness, trustworthiness, and warmth. So just these 10 seconds are enough to mentally sort people out and even make snap judgments in the interviews processes. And this occurs all the time. So again, these steps that we will be discussing will try to eliminate those snap judgments. Interviews do not predict performance. So Laszlo stated that there's many times that an interviewee can be a great interviewee and not really perform to their best potential in the future as an employee. There's other times where interviewees are not the best at making themselves or at presenting themselves in the interview process, but they become a great asset to the company and to the organization. So this is something really important to consider. So the perfect selection. There's been over 100 years of research that are being done in regarding to interviewing processes. So the general cognitive ability, leadership, role-related knowledge, best fit for organization are 4 key things that Google recruiters look for when they are interviewing people. And so in the general cognitive ability, they look for any type of problem-solving abilities. For curiosity, are they fast at picking stuff up? Are they adaptable? In the leadership component, they want to look for an emergent leadership specifically. So what they're looking for is somebody that takes initiative, somebody that has the ability to relinquish power. So if there is a situation that is at hand, and maybe the team leader does not know how to handle the situation, if this new hire is able to step up to the plate, help to solve the problem, help to solve the issue, and then come back to their position and let the team leader handle the rest, that is something that is very key to consider for Google recruiters. They also love teamwork, so they're looking for team players. For the role-related knowledge component, they're looking for those candidates that do have the required skills and knowledge to do what they are being asked to do, what the job requires them to do. And for the best fit for organization component, they're looking for people who are going to be comfortable with ambiguity. They just want to make sure that they know that in order to work for Google, there is a lot of ambiguity. They want to know that they are intellectually humble, which is a really key component for them. So if they have an issue and they are corrected, or if they do make a mistake and they are that an acknowledgement for that mistake is provided, they want to make sure that this key candidate will be able to accept their faults, to even apologize, and to be able to grow from that experience. They want somebody that's going to be creative. They love innovators, and I think that's what Google is all about also. So that's something that I found really interesting. So what they do at Google is they develop these structured interviews. These structures, this order, if you may, will keep consistency throughout all of the questions for all the applicants, for everybody that is a candidate for a certain position. So they have like a bucket of questions that are used for every single interview according to each position. And then another key component for this is having a clear criteria. Again, knowing exactly what the company needs and what the position requires. And this is so that there is an equal opportunity for absolutely every applicant, so that nobody feels like they're being discriminated against. That's the word I was looking for. So there's no discrimination involved. There's no misinterpretations. They want to get those out the window. And this also clears the way for fair assessment on the results. So any responses that are given throughout the interview processes, again, they will be assessed by the management team, but this hiring committee will make sure that there is a fair amount of questions, responses to those questions will be treated as fairly as possible. All right, so some types of structured interviews, and he did give some examples. So 2 examples for those would be situational interview questions, and these will include hypothetical problems relative to the job. And so this could be, you know, we want to hire you, but you live across the country. Would you be willing to move yourself and your family to live closer to the job? Those type of situational problems, and seeing how the applicant does answer these questions will be a determining factor. Also, behavioral interview questions. So these will be any type of prior achievements related to the job. And so they want to know their success stories. They want to know what they've done before in the past that relates to this job. So they want to know how everything that they've managed or that they've been taught, that they've learned, that they have acquired, all the skills and abilities and talents, how they will best be useful in this new position. So what makes the best recruiter? According to Laszlo, the best recruiter is someone who understands the meaning. Someone that knows that deep down inside, everybody wants to fulfill a purpose in life. Everybody feels that they are born for something more. That they are not a casualty, but they are an important piece in this world. A best recruiter will try to give very specific reasons for the candidate to be able to join. So if you know that you have a key candidate in your hand or in front of you, you will try to convince the applicant to join the team, to join your company. And so you're going to want to provide reasons for them to, you know, drop what they're doing to be able to switch from the organization or the company that they currently belong to come and join this team. And the best recruiter will be able to connect these individuals to these positions that will bring meaning to their life, or where they will be able to supply this meaning that they hold within them and apply it to their new position. They want to make sure that every individual is connected to their purpose and to their passion. So according to Laszlo, the best recruiter at Google is Alan Eustace. He's very famously known for his recruiting commercials for Google. And his motto is, "Dare to be audacious, Google." So he's also known to be a very professional skydiver, which is something very interesting. And we'll go ahead and continue on the next presentation.